In today's video, we're going to be talking about all things magic and our beliefs around magic. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome back to Outlaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. And as I said in the intro, magic. Now, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, do I believe in magic? Do I believe in black magic? I would have no, I don't. It can only have power over you if you believe it. And it's interesting, I wanted to do this video because it's been interesting how, and it's good introspection, my introspection, to have you review your beliefs and your values around the different aspects of spirituality, because I was the first, probably not 5 years ago, probably later than that. Actually, I was the first to say, well, if you give darkness power, then it has power over you. And if you give magic power, if you believe in it, then it has power over you. And I still believe that. I do believe that. But my introspections, and as my journey has unfolded, has given me a deeper insight into the fact that if we're going to believe that our words can manifest in a positive way, we also have to believe in its polarity, that our words can manifest when there's ill intent. Now, whether we accept those manifestations, we still have free will over, which is where my first belief still stands firm, in the fact that it can only have hold over you if you choose to take it in and believe it. That doesn't mean to say, and it's one of the things that I've actually learned, it doesn't mean to say that energetically you don't feel it coming towards you, because you do. I always used to I was in this, oh, well, if you're full of light, you don't attract it. You don't attract it if you're full of light. And again, that's true, but we do not have control over other people. And if other people are in a wounded space and they project that out, they use their words, those words are alchemized into negativity, they're manifested into negative energies, and those negative energies are directed at you, then you will feel them coming towards you. But you still have the power to transmute them. And I wanted to clear that up, because I was, as I said, in my early years of learning, I was very rose-coloured glasses, I suppose. It was like, oh, well, if you're in the light, there is no darkness. Woo! And if you're in the light, if you work with light, then that darkness doesn't have to affect you. But let's not forget the darkness within us. We all have those light and shadow aspects, and I've talked on other videos about the brighter your light, the deeper you go into the depths of your own shadow work. And that's how you bring in more light, because you're pulling it up out of the depths, and you're bringing it to the surface so that light can be shed on it. But magic, in the sense, magic is our intentions, our thoughts, our emotions behind that, and the way that we alchemize it, the power that we put behind it. And obviously within the realms of magic, there are lots of incantations and lots of spell works that you can actually do. And the one thing that I've actually seen is love spells at the moment, and I'm just like, no, 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 why would you? Okay, you want to set an intention that you bring in a beautiful love for yourself, but when a lot of what we're actually seeing and a lot of what's being sold out there, and I always cringe when I see it on social media, the posts that say, oh, I've pulled a card on you and I see into your future and blah, 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 blah. And if you pay me X, Y, and Z, then I can take this curse from you and you can bring love into your life. You can have the person of your dreams. And I've said before, one, that's absolute sham scam. You're wasting your money. If you want to bring anything in, you do the work on yourself and then you set those intentions. You put the alchemy into your creations, because nobody else can know what is right for you. And really, if you've gone down that road, and I always kind of think, if you've just think about it, okay, just think about it. You're having somebody create a spell so that you can bring the love of your life into your life, because you've set your intentions on that person. You've got the first thing to take into consideration: does that person reciprocate those emotional energies? Are you really wanting somebody false? Because that's what you're actually doing, because you're kind of saying, I want that person, and you're not allowing that person to say, yeah, and I want you too. You're taking that free will away, and that is a real rocky foundation to start any kind of relationship, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's a business relationship, whatever. That's you starting off on a really rocky foundation. The second thing in that is, if you're having somebody do these spells for you, do you really want a third party in that relationship right from the get-go? So you've got two things going on there. One, you're starting off on a rocky foundation because because you've manipulated the energies. And again, it will only work on that person if they allow themselves to be manipulated. Let's not get that wrong. They have to accept those energies in and allow them to steer them, rather than listening to their own connection to divine, their own intuition, and using their own discernment. So that's the first thing. But you've got that going on. You've got no foundation because the foundation's false. And then you've got, because you've asked somebody to cast this spell for you, you've got a third person in your union. It's a recipe for disaster, an absolute recipe for disaster. What you're wanting is, you're wanting to say, okay, what do I want in my life, and who will complement me? What, not who, but what type of person, what are the values and the assets and the aspects of a person do I believe will complement, and am I willing to surrender that to the divine, because I am so heart-based, not ego-based, that I know that the divine will be able to match us much more synchronistically than what my mind can conjure. Let's just remember that in that mind, we've got all our programs, we've got all the ish that we haven't yet healed. And even when you have healed huge amounts, there are still aspects, because we're having a physical existence, there are still aspects in there that will play, oh yeah, I like that, and subconsciously it's part of a dysfunctional program that is not yet fully healed. So one, we have to say, okay, I'd really like this type of person in my life, or this type of person in my business, or this type of person to do a collaboration with. But I am willing, divine, to surrender that to you, knowing full well you have my back. You want the best for me. You want me to excel in this life because I am being of service to you. And I think this is what we need to remember. We need to step back from trying to control, and then when we've kind of almost mastered that, because we all fall back into it, when we've almost mastered that, is to then look at, okay, how am I trying to micromanage this? Am I trying to micromanage this? And if I'm trying to micromanage this, how can I surrender that in a much deeper way? And it's about building up the trust. It's about building the trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust that divine has your back. It comes back to that faith. Do you trust in life? Do you trust that there is a higher power backing you, championing you, wanting you to do well? Because if you do well, the message, the mission does well. Whatever it is you are here to anchor into the planet, wherever you reincarnated, whatever magic, your magic, that only you can uniquely do, will then become manifest because you've allowed yourself to surrender. But we need that trust, and we need to understand that yes, there are energies out there, and there are people that covet because they're still in a wounded space. There are people that get jealous, again, because they're in a hurt space. There are people that want to hop, jump and skip over and on the backs of others to get to where they want because they're still running that program of lack. I ask each and every one of you, because of where we're going and the energies that are coming in now, I ask each and every one of you to just take a breath, step back, allow your ancestral team and divine to sort that ish. Don't concern yourselves with it. Step back from it. Obviously, put your boundaries in place. Obviously, do your protection. Obviously, do your light building, light retaining routines that keep you in those high vibes every single day. Keep growing, keep boosting, keep becoming your most authentic self daily. Put what is needed in place. Defend yourself from any ish that you can feel coming towards you. I like to transmute it with love, hand it over to the divine and say to them, right, okay, this is not coming into my energetic space. I'm handing it over to you. You either return it or transmute it, please. And I've taken myself out of that cycle, so I'm not playing energetic ping pong with these lower vibrating energies from people that still need to do their healing. And I want to reiterate that because I know it's really hard when you feel like you're being attacked, especially energetically, because it's so underhand. If somebody says to you, I don't like you, and there was a card reader that actually said this, and it's true. It is true. If somebody openly expresses or shows that they don't like you, that's fine. You can kind of dodge each other. But when people are throwing stones and then hiding their hands, that's really difficult to deal with. And that's when I ask you to take a breath, step back, and remember that that is occurring because they need healing. They still need to heal. That doesn't mean that you go in and you save them if you're a healer and say, oh, I'll help you heal, which can be in the early stages of being on the spiritual journey. You can go into being everybody's saviour mode. That's not what we're here for. We're here to save ourselves. We're here to hold and anchor light energy on the planet and hold space for others to do the healing that they need to do. We're not here to do it for them. And so I just wanted to get on here, have a check-in with the beliefs and the values and your understanding of your spiritual journey from when you first started to where you are now, and what needs changing, what needs updating. As I said, I was the first to go, oh, darkness, I don't believe in all that rubbish, especially when you get into the realms of it's evil, it's an evil spirit after you. And I was really kind of like, yeah, no. If for me, it's energy. It is just crappy energy that is being created from people that are in crappy spaces, myself included. None of us are exempt, whether we've done it this life or whether we've done it in past lives. We would have all done it. And I think it's helpful to remember that, because it allows you to step back and be judgmental of it. Doesn't mean you tolerate it, doesn't mean you condone it, doesn't mean that you allow people to walk all over you. It just means that you can gain and give that little more understanding and compassion. So I hope this has helped. If you've not yet subscribed, please press subscribe. If you've liked the video, give it a like and share it with your friends. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.